Good afternoon, everybody. It is Wednesday. Pomp and circumstances in the air. As you can see, we have a full house here for Pickup Lines presented by Gamez Law Firm, Integrity Roofing and Siding, and the Sabinal Group. We are thankfully in the air-conditioned, all-electric Lexus RZ 450e, courtesy of North Park Lexus of San Antonio and North Park Lexus at Dominion. And I've paid the AC bill, so we're good. We're good for this episode. Let me introduce the crew, because we're making Pickup Lines history today here. New Frontiers Public Schools said we want 3 people in the car, and I said, whatever you want. So we're going to make it happen, because they have supported me for a long time, and it's a big day for them. So here in the front seat next to me is Danielle Magana. She's a teacher at Frank L. Madla Early College High School. You teach history.
Yes.
Okay. Right behind her in the, I guess, rear passenger is Julianna Alvarado. More on her in just a second. And then next to her is Kalius Fuller, and as you probably have figured out, they are wearing, their caps are below, but they have their gowns on, because today, in a matter of about 2.5 hours, these two will walk the stage. And are you ready to have your mind blown? Okay, because it sounds weird coming out of my mouth. So these two, Julianna and Kalius, will get their associate's degree today at 4 o'clock. But neither of them have their high school diploma yet. Emphasis on the word yet. Okay, you heard correct. And now I'm going to have Ms. Magana explain how in the heck is it possible. Like, I didn't even know educationally you could do that. You can get your associate's degree first,
yep,
and then get a high school diploma. How are they doing that?
So they started with us their freshman year, and they, of course, passed their TSI test to make them college eligible. So they've been taking college classes at Palo Alto at the same time as they're taking their high school classes. So they'll come onto campus and take high school classes with us, and then they'll go on to the Palo Alto classes and take classes with their professors. It just happens that Palo Alto's graduation is right before our high school graduation. Indeed.
So, and we are at, full disclosure, we are at the Alamo Dome right now. So they will literally get out of the car and walk a couple hundred feet to their commencement, which is super, super exciting. Before we get to the two graduates here, I guess we should set up how this works, because we're talking about Frank L. Madla. As the name would suggest, Early College High School is part of the New Frontiers Public Schools, and we've done a series of these. We had another student in the car with me, Starla, God bless her. She's graduating today.
She's here too, yeah.
Starla was amazing when she did Pickup Lines with me. And so, in layman's terms, explain, the significance of what they're doing today. And this is a class of 35, right?
Yes.
Ish?
Not graduating? Yes, 35.
Yeah,
35. Okay, yeah.
Yes, this is honestly, so Kalius and Julianna started with us during COVID. We were
crazy.
All online. I first met Kalius and Julianna through a little picture on Zoom, and whatever they would write in the chats from and their assignments,
right?
And then meeting them their sophomore year in person, and just both of these students in person really thrived at our school. They really worked hard and made up what a Madla student is.
Yeah.
They are a perfect example of what a Madla student is.
I love the teal or the turquoise the gown and everything. It's really cool. I'm going to move the microphone here so we can let. I start with the ladies first. So Julianna, let's go back to the COVID time. As I remember virtual learning, I had 3 teenagers at home at the time. What a complete mess, and may that never happen again. But what are your memories of that time? You're starting Madla. Did you ever think today would ever come?
No, but yes, at the same time, it was also very weird because it was online. So I moved from my room to my living room, and I just kind of blew up a mattress. So I would just wake up and turn on the computer and log in and just be oh, but we had homeroom, so I had 15 minutes to adjust. But yeah, I did imagine, I just didn't think it would come so soon.
Right. And now that we're here today, this is graduate. You will literally get your degree in about 2.5 hours. How are you feeling? What are the emotions going through your head right now?
Well, right now I'm just practicing how I look on the jumbo, the screen. I'm
you can see right there. You're kind of practice what you're going to do.
I'll be love you. be like, peace. I'm just practicing when I'm gonna walk.
Okay, and I see you've got all the stoles or the student council or student athlete,
Yes.
and then you've got the different. They're not. What are they called? Not the ropes. The
cords.
The cords. Thank
Yes.
you. Oh my gosh, I haven't. It's been a long time since I graduated. What is the significance of all of that? And then I'm going to ask you, Kayla, the same thing.
So for student athlete, this is given from PAC to me because I did
Palo Alto
basketball.
College.
Yeah, I did. I tried out and I made the team. Oh, thankfully, but I made it, and I went to a banquet a couple weeks ago, and they gave it to me because I was going to graduate, so I could wear this.
So you literally have the. I don't know if people can see it on the camera. But you literally have the logo, and it's the Palo
Yes.
Alto
It says-
College colors.
Yes, it says student athlete on one side.
So again, just forgive my ignorance. Is the color? Is this the Madla school colors, or is this the Palo Alto College colors?
I think it's both. I
It's
think
both.
It's both.
So the
Madla's based on
really
it.
cool thing about coming to school at Madla, because you are enrolled in a college class, we technically don't have sports at Madla,
Right.
but because you're enrolled in Palo Alto, you can try out for the Palo Alto team. So you could be on their basketball, volleyball, the dance team. We have a couple of girls on the dance team, Julianna on the basketball team. We have a couple of girls on the volleyball. We've had boys go onto the basketball team as well, and they're playing for against
So she
different
was
colleges.
literally playing college
Yes.
basketball.
Yes, I was playing against
Well,
20-year-olds. Yes. Yes, I was scared.
I keep waiting for Candid Camera to come out and tell me this is a joke. This is really happening, by the way. I mean, I'm making light of it and everything, but this is really happening, and it's significant, and it can happen for your kid as well. And I'll ask Miss Magana about that in a little while. She's a teacher, so I feel weird calling her Danielle. Miss Magana, right?
Yes.
All right. Kayla, as promised, let me ask you about your journey. COVID 2020, what a crazy time. I know my son, just personal experience, had a really rough time with the virtual learning and missed that social element. What was that like for you, and what are you thinking now that we are here today on graduation day?
So personally, during COVID, it was a very kind of a hard time for me. I was at home, I was with my siblings, and I was also on school. I took school too seriously during COVID time, very seriously. I thought Madla was this very competitive place where everybody was gonna try super hard to knock each other down. It wasn't like that in the slightest. Everybody was super sweet, super nice, which I eventually learned. But COVID, just that year itself, it was very hard, very rough. I did never imagine me being here. It was hard to envision graduation. I don't think I really knew what graduation meant. I knew you were done with high school, but I didn't know what it actually meant to be finished for everything. And then now I'm not only done with high school, but half of my bachelor's as well, my associates. And it's just an incredible opportunity, an incredible spot to go. Miss Magana, one of the best teachers I have ever had. She's one of my chosen homeroom. I wanted to be with her. She is amazing.
See, I've heard it. A little birdie told me she can be tough sometimes.
Tough is a word. Tough is a word.
Good answer.
I worked with her for student council. I was the vice president. Starla, as you mentioned, was president.
Right.
And it was a 3-way team. Oh, Juliana was our parliamentarian. She was there too. It was
Keep everybody in line.
Yes, it was a team, and she was the head of our team. And whenever she got stressed, it was stressful, but it made everything turn out amazing. And I don't know what we would have done without her.
All right. So again, correct me if I'm wrong. You're getting your associate's degree here this afternoon, but then what? Is it Saturday or in 3 days?
Saturday.
You do it all over again,
Yes,
and
sir.
you get your high school diploma.
Yes.
I'm still having a hard time comprehending all of that. When you first, let me ask you this, Juliana, when you first heard about this model and you heard this for the very first time, this was even possible. What did you think?
I was like, oh, I'm gonna be rich, because I was like, if you get a degree, you get money. I was like, oh, I thought
Sometimes, yes.
freshman year, I thought I was gonna go as soon as I get out, jobs are gonna be lined up for me. No, completely different.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So let's talk about that here, because so Juliana, you're gonna stay here and go to A&M San Antonio, and Kalius, you're gonna go to A&M Corpus Christi. So. Let's see. Juliana, you are going to do liberal arts? Or you got your associates in liberal arts.
Yes.
So what ultimately would you like to do? How are you going to be rich?
Oh, I was going to manage someone else's business because I want to do business management. And there's always a constant question well, why don't you want to own your own business? Because my biggest fear is what if it fails and all the debt is on me and I can't handle that. So
Okay.
I feel better if I was in charge of something else where my name is partially on it. but it's not like full responsibility where I have to do taxes and everything. Yeah.
Adulting is not. It's not always fun. It's not as glamorous as it seems. I tell my kids, don't rush. Kayla, same thing. So you're going to do, or your associates is in liberal arts.
Yes,
so
sir.
what ultimately will that mean for you? Do you think?
At Madla, everybody's associate is in liberal arts.
Okay.
That's our default. It's what we all do. It's how we all take our classes. And then later on, they ask us what we want to major in, and that's when they start placing us in classes more towards our major for when we leave. My major is finance. I am good at math. Now, do I love it? Not entirely. But I am good at math, and I do want to go in for finance to just for, financial growth at the moment, right out of high school, just to get somewhere before I start doing, like, I guess you could say, like, dreams, chasing dreams.
Okay.
I want to get a little bit more stable.
And then you guys can get together and talk about finances and all that, and how manage all her money and everything.
Yes.
I'll do the taxes.
Yeah.
There you go. That's good. That's good. I like it. I love how they're already thinking and everything. So what is so Danielle? Let me ask you. What does today mean for you? You're an educator. You've been at Madla for about 8-9 years now.
Yes.
And I would imagine a day like today, this never gets old, right?
No, not at all. This is actually my first time coming to the Palo Alto ceremony. I've never got to see them cross the college stage. I've always gone to their high school one, of course. So I'm very excited, and I will say I'm very attached to this class. Like,
it's a very small class,
yes.
though, so you have to get attached to them, I think, right?
Yes, but I mean, like I said, we started in COVID, and then they came to school, and I wasn't sure, and then just their junior year, that class to me just shined, and they were involved, and this year some of them took me for economics, and I don't know, it's just they hold a special place in my heart. And because it's such a small school, it's not just the class of 2024,
right.
It's all the classes. Like, I feel like I'm very close with my students, like I get a sense of who they are, and also it's just a really good community to be a part of. I do really enjoy going to work. I mean, sometimes we have our hard days, but it's not them that's making, like, it's other stuff, but coming to work, it's never like, you're like, I'm never
what
like
about
that.
even in mid-May when the school year is
I got a countdown,
and there's senioritis. Senioritis.
I get excited to change my countdown. That's what I get excited.
So Juliana, the senioritis, how bad was it setting in recently?
For me, it was like the past 2 weeks, because with the school, you have to like call the school, your parents call for you to sign out if you're over 18. So I would constantly like call my mom, like, can you sign me out? And she's like, do you have any classes? And then I tell her my schedule every single time. She's like, I guess, okay. And then one time she was like, no more skipping school. So then I just called my dad, and then they got mad, and she was like, no, you're no longer allowed. And I was like, so then I stayed there.
Teenagers watching this, be careful what you do. Kayla, same thing.
So for me, when in Madla, you have the option to take summer courses, which will shorten your load later on. So I had a full roster junior year, like full to the brim, and then I took summer courses too. So this semester, I actually only had one class. So in the class, it was an economics with the college, and it was a very easy, very chill class. So my senioritis didn't really have time to show.
I see.
Because I tried to get everything out of the way so this semester I could be just as calm as possible.
Okay.
But I did have a lot of fun this year. I did get to do a lot. I tutored a lot. We both tutored, which we love to do.
That's super cool. So again, for people who come through the Madla program or the school and everything, do you continue more, like, in terms of pursuing more degrees, or can you stop right here? Or what do you think that'll look like for you guys?
You want to answer, or you want?
You can answer.
Go ahead, Kayla.
It's
Go
really
ahead.
It's up to the person. You get your associates, then you have the option. You can transfer to a four-year university, do more, or you could take what you have and do what you have with your associates, because you can do things with the associates if you look in the right place.
Yeah.
And so it's just depends on what each person wants.
Yeah, go ahead.
And especially so with Palo Alto, there's a Jaguar promise, which was really beneficial for me because it's a promise where, thankfully I got it, where you can transfer over to Tamusa and Texas A&M.
Yes.
I call it Tamusa.
I get
It's super long.
I know.
You transfer over and your degree is almost like, or completely free, like it's paid for completely.
I'm going to ask, and Danielle, I'm going to ask you this because I feel it's changed in recent years. You know, when growing up, you know, it was bachelors in college, bachelors. But I feel like in recent years, trade school is the same thing as the associates. That there's so much more emphasis now on young people who go to the trade schools, get their associates. I feel like, I don't want to say they were frowned upon, you know, decades ago, but it feels like it's different. It's a different time now for that.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of different time because we're seeing this a lot. We're seeing this as an opportunity. Before, like you have to, you know, go to college, pay for it. But here we're giving our younger generations a chance to get that, to go all the way. Growing up myself, I never knew that college wasn't an option. My parents, like, drilled in my head, like, after high school you're going to college, after high school. So when I realized, like, oh, that's not everybody's parent tells them that, the fact that we have a program like this to help so people can believe and actually achieve. If you believe, you can achieve.
Right.
You can get this. We have them, when they first come into our Madla program, write a letter to their future selves. And
really?
They're making faces because they got them last night. At our milestone last night.
Wait a minute. Oh my God. Now I'm gonna cry.
But they tell themselves, like, I hope you got your degree, and I hope you did this, and I hope you did that. And
so they wrote the letters when they were freshmen, and then you saw them again last night.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
And the fact that this is giving, and like Juliana said, because of the Alamo Promise, now she's going to go to A&M San Antonio and pretty much have a full ride. When I went to school, I worked 3 jobs. I went to school.
Yeah, well, no, I get it. I get it. Making $3.25, $4.20. Well, you're younger than I am. I made like $3.75 an hour. You probably got a little bit more, but and I would think too, whenever they're done with their education, that employers are going to look at this and be like, wait, what did they do? Like they did, like that would be very impressive.
I think it's great. So I do have a younger sister who did an early college program as well, and then she went to nursing at A&M International. She got her nursing degree 2 years before others did.
Yeah.
So if any of these students, the same thing, if they transfer to another school, they're getting their degrees faster and getting more qualified, more younger compared to others that do the traditional route of, you know, high school then college. We have
no student debt.
Yes.
No student debt.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Now people are commenting. I think it's relatives.
That's
okay.
her.
Hi, Rashad. I'm seeing some. I'm seeing some. I'm assuming I saw an Alvarado one here. It might be a family. Was it your dad, or because you said something about yes, she called me.
Yes.
Okay, so that might have been your dad, or your parents are watching. And you do have a lot of supporters out there right now, and so so getting back to the program itself, the Madla. Early college, high school. It's considered a charter school, right?
Yeah.
And it's no tuition.
Nope.
Tuition free.
Tuition free.
Because I think some people would have heard this in the past and thought, oh, charter schools. Oh, I live in a certain place. I can't go to that, or I can't afford it, et cetera, et cetera. But none of that is true.
Kalis drives.
Across town.
Yeah.
Kalis. Well, Starla lived in Pleasanton, right?
Starla lived in Reverter.
Yeah.
We have one young man. He's like Castroville.
Noah's.
Yeah. Some people are all the way by SeaWorld.
Because the campus, we were at the campus, it's at Palo Alto College.
Yes.
So you're talking, and not to mention just the sacrifice of having to drive to that campus every day.
Kalis's mom is. She's
not happy. She's happy it's over.
She will be soon. I was going to say, this is it, right?
It's over.
right? Oh my gosh. Couple more minutes here with these guys, because if you're just joining us here, it's almost 1:45 at 4:00, and the Alamo Dome is to my right over there. These guys will go inside and they will get their associates, like their college associate's degree today, and then in a few days they'll get their high school diploma. Which, again, somebody might hear that and think Ernie's wrong. He's old and senile. This is not. No, this is true. This is happening here. And there are other programs. I mean, New Frontiers has other for the little kiddos, and I mean,
we have a middle school. Greg A. Garcia.
Right.
Yes. So that's like our sister school, and then from there, they would hopefully transfer and come to our school as well.
Yeah. And for people who again just don't know, and I'll ask all three of you this. I'll start with you first. It's a typical classroom setting, right?
Yes.
I mean, is there anything extraordinary other than the fact that they're getting the associate's degree? I mean, in terms of what a typical classroom. The teachers are awesome. I
I
know,
was
right? Yeah, I was
like,
gonna say.
we have an amazing staff, but yeah, it's just a typical high school setting. We may not have like the sports like most of regular high schools have, but like we said, you could play for the college. Juliana
she played
did,
college
yeah.
basketball, right? And I understand the Palo Alto crowd. That family has been very welcoming to you guys. I mean, because you're literally there at the college campus,
Yes.
which. Well, I guess, well, for both of you, Juliana, that's an easy transition when you're walking around to Musa.
Yeah.
You'll already know what that's all about. Are you going to play college basketball at
No,
Musa?
no.
She's done.
No, I'm done. Yeah.
Okay.
She's hanging up the jersey. She's
Putting
done.
it up. I'm done. Yes. But back to your question about like the setting, the classroom setting for Madla. I noticed that with English, our awesome English teacher, we only have English, like English 1 and English 2, up until sophomore year. Because in junior year, we have comp. We have, right? Comp?
Yep. Comp.
Yes, it's comp with Miss Gonzalez, and that's a college class. And then senior year, it is British Lit, which is another college class. So you get all your Englishes.
British literature?
Yes.
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 Yes, it is.
Yes.
They love it.
Yeah, it was really easy, like essay.
Good for
writing.
I mean,
Yeah.
just
Just a
I'm,
flow of my
I'm not as
fingers.
smart as you guys. That's just the thing. So
It's a big
Yeah, go ahead.
transition, a very big one, especially from sophomore to junior year.
Yes.
An insane jump. But especially like the teachers like Magana, Canales, all of our science, our math teachers, they get you prepared for that jump.
Miss Pesses, Mr.
Yes.
Villa, Miss Gonzalez.
yeah. All right. I'm going to get you a couple more minutes because I know you're excited to get into the Alamo Dome here. Let me ask you this. If you could speak directly to the camera, and from the student perspective, if you could speak to prospective parents or somebody who watches this and maybe never knew this was an option or might see this and, hey, I want that for my kid. Kayla, I'll start with you. Give me your elevator pitch or your 30-second pitch about Madla and why it's so great for you.
I will say this, early college high schools, Madla is not the only one in San Antonio. Not by a long shot. And I live close to so many different community colleges, the Alamo colleges. I live closer to St. Philip's, to Lakeview, to Vista. But I still begged my mom to take me to Madla because I felt like it was better than what any of the other early college high schools had to offer.
Oh my goodness gracious! And they said earlier they're going to try to make Miss Magana cry, and it's we're getting close. We're getting close. Juliana, same thing. If you could pitch to parents, young people out there, why is Madla the way to go?
It just helps you, it like builds you up because then you become more mature as a person because you're sitting in college classes with like older people. Like I remember my sophomore year. No, my junior year, I had intro to speech with a 35-year-old, and he was talking about, that he went to Afghanistan. And I was like, oh my god, I just went to the restroom by myself. Like, wow, you just did a whole tour. Wow. Like you become more mature. Like you realize, people are taking their college seriously. So like that atmosphere makes you change yourself to be much more mature.
Yeah. Okay. Super cool. All right. Let me close out with Miss Magana here. We're getting ready to go in the Alamo Dome. What do you think you're going to be feeling in there, and how are you feeling right now?
I'm very excited. I can't wait to see their names when they go and cross the big stage. But also, it's going to be everybody graduating from Palo Alto, not just our students, but even like Juliana said, maybe that 35-year-old from her speech class will also be crossing the stage. So it's definitely going to be a long ceremony, but I'm just so proud of them. I really am. And this has been our highest percentage of students crossing the Palo Alto stage this year. And
that's awesome.
Words can't express how excited I am.
I love it. All right, so Juliana, I saw you have your mortarboard here,
Yeah, look
and
out
so
for me.
let's talk about this. What is that real quick?
So I really like Mulan. I like the songs. Dun,
Let me see
dun,
this
dun.
real quick. I'm going to show it closer to the camera, and you can explain what this is.
So in the scene in Mulan, Mulan, I guess her ancestor Mushu, whatever, he comes and he's like very like, oh, a woman is fighting in the war, and he's like, dishonor on you, dishonor on your cow, dishonor. And I used to sometimes say, like, after I would watch the movie, like, oh, dishonor on you, dishonor on you. So I thought of it, and I was just rewatching like a bunch of Disney movies. Like I watched High School Musical. I wanted a little thingy. I was like, oh my gosh. And I saw Mulan, and I rewatched it, and I was like, I want to do my cap like that. So
There it is.
I did.
Very good. All right, Kalis. There it is. There you have it. I love
Beautiful.
it. It's an original. You
I'm
still
an
have
honest
time.
man. I put my name on it.
So it doesn't get lost.
She told me to.
Yes.
You still have time if you want to add anything to it. Listen, all kidding aside, I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled that this was able to work. When I first heard, oh, we're going to do this right before their graduation at the Alamo Dome, I was like, really? Like, that's a crazy busy day.
Yeah. I was driving. I couldn't find parking. I was like,
I know.
"What?"
Well, parking, yes, and it took a village, and we made it work. And see that just to prove that we're right by the Alamo Dome. There's the train going right by. I'm thrilled for you guys and your families. I think it's so cool what's happening at Madla Early College. That it's possible that you can do this and get your associates, but it doesn't happen without amazing teachers. And so, thank you to you as well.
It's all right. They make my life easier. They make my job seem like it's not even a job sometimes.
I love it. I love it. Well, it's a day that you guys are never going to forget, to be sure. So one more time, Danielle Magana, Julianna Alvarado, Kalius Fuller, congratulations. Have a fantastic day, and thank you all for spending a little part of it with me here today.
Thank you.
you.
Good stuff. Okay, one more time. NewFrontiersPublicSchools.org. That's the website, NewFrontiersPublicSchools.org. If you'd like to learn more about Madla or what's happening and how your kids can do exactly what these two have done. It's just really, really fascinating stuff. So there's another episode of Pickup Lines presented by Gamez Law Firm, Integrity Roofing and Siding, and the Sabinal Group. We'll be back very soon. We'll be back tomorrow, as a matter of fact, with another episode right here. So have a fantastic day. And again, congratulations to the class of 2024. Nothing but love. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.